That's hilarious. Let me see.
Hey, cool. Well, we can start from the top then.
That. Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, it's official. Technical
Yeah.
difficulties. So, all right, yeah, let's get let's do it.
Yeah, we got these three articles we're covering today: Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which is it's a good article because it's kind of like very quick, easy to read, broad overview from what I remember. Do you have a comment?
Yeah, no, I like again, I wasn't familiar with who this gentleman was in the photo. I just see the picture and like the whole vibe, and I was like, the fuck is this about? But I actually did like his take on things. It resonates with kind of like what I'm seeing in the industry on my side of things. And then obviously looked him up and it's like, oh yeah, he knows a thing or two.
Yeah, he's been around the block once or twice. Yeah, he's an American art advisor and collector specializing in contemporary art and film memorabilia. I thought that was cool. He
Yeah,
dropped
yeah.
some comments about some of the movies that he's, and things that were selling. So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
You has several celebrity clients. Ooh. And then next we also have this when good dealers go bad. Kenny Schachter,
Ooh.
gallery closures, unpaid artists, and clawbacks. And stop the complaining. It's time to find a way forward because the
Facts.
industry has been pretty in the dumps lately.
Yeah, I mean the market's weird. Galleries, it's a tricky time right now, depending on what size you are, I think, and where you are in the world, I guess, based on some of this information.
Yeah, it seems like it's tough all over the industry, or not just in the art industry. And obviously, the art industry is kind of like pay a cost along with the rest of the downturn of certain things. I guess, yeah, we don't have to get too much into that. The third article, I don't know if we'll get to it today, but it's more of like a broad report. It's kind of a good article for learning about, or they discuss like different levels to the industry. So like the secondary market, the galleries, mid-sized, small galleries, and all sorts of things, and how different people seem to be faring on their platform
Yeah.
based on, based on their data. So that's more like an internal thing than like on these ones. But yeah, we can start with this one. Like, yeah, what did you think? What did you think about Ralph DeLuca?
I like his take. I think again for me, it's what a lot of what he talked about. Again, resonated with kind of some of the trends that I'm seeing. Again, working, on the logistics side of things, obviously, working with some of the auction houses and things, and just the different sales that have been coming through there. Anyone has access to that information. Obviously, you can just get on and kind of check out the sales that are coming through the pipeline. But I mean, it's I feel like it's something that you kind of started to see trending, a year or two ago when you started seeing like a bunch of jerseys and things getting sold at auction, maybe that you wouldn't in the past, I guess, and how successful I think those sales have been and are doing. So when I saw his take again, it was kind of like there can be a lot of like fluff, I think, in the art world and like language and things. And his take was just kind of like straightforward, like this is what I'm seeing from my pool in Vegas, chilling. You know what I'm saying? And like, so yeah, it was really easy to digest, I think, and ultimately, the one of the biggest things he talked about was like collectors pulling back from high price blue chip works and identity based investments, people buying artwork to like virtue signal and things of that nature. And maybe that's why
Yeah.
we saw some of the previous trends in the market. It's been such a political, the politics has been crazy obviously in America and around the world for the last decade. And so I think a lot of maybe what you saw in the market when it was kind of booming might have been tied or related to that, which I thought was really interesting. And now again, you're kind of seeing like people spend their money on things that they really like and love and value, which ties back to like, again, jersey sales or film memorabilia or different, Van Halen's guitar or something like that, So yeah, I thought I liked his take on the situation.
I kind of feel like there's a generational aspect to that. Um, that uh it's interesting that people are, gravitating towards memorabilia, but like that's he's also, I believe, works in the pop culture area. Like, so that's sort of like where he operates. So that's, it's good for him, basically, that
Exactly.
people
Yeah.
are gravitating towards those things. But
Right.
also that does seem to me a little bit generational. I don't know, like, you know, Netflix and just the absorbent amount of like content might make that trickier, in future years. That's something I would think. But I was going to read right here where you were saying, he says the ultra, because I think this is really cool because it's identifiable. The wealthy aren't sweating inflation or rising groceries and fuel costs as much as the rest of us are. There is still apparently a lot of money floating around. So where is it going? He says, over the past decade, the market leaned heavily into identity politics, art as a message, art as a virtue signal. Today, I'm sensing a pullback. Collectors may no longer resonate with a particular artist's message if they ever did. That's I
Yeah.
highlighted that because I was like, yeah, if they ever did, they might have thought it was a good investment. It depends on, or trendy or something.
Trendy. Yeah, facts.
And now they no longer want to live with it or even own it. So that's, and I see that sometimes because both of us, we see stuff coming through the secondary market. And so in the secondary market, like you can tell when something, well, it just doesn't sell. It goes back to the client,
Yeah.
return to client. So and sometimes it's funny when you can predict it. You don't want
Facts.
it. You want people's, visions and their joy, and you also want to support artists, of all types. But sometimes it doesn't feel like the heart was there and that it's just capitalizing on a message.
100%. Yeah, that tracks.
That definitely happens. Or it's
Yeah.
incomplete feeling. That's something yeah.
I mean, something that you mentioned as far as like generational too, though. Again, I don't necessarily. I'm like I'm developing a perspective on art. I would say over the last few years as well. I don't have like a background, quote unquote, studying fine art, if you will. But I'm not gonna lie, if I'm on like if I'm looking at some sale and they're selling like the first sketch of like Disney Lion King, like that like resonates. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like it. I if I had a few $1,000s to spend on it, like I would, versus maybe a painting of sorts that costs the same amount. You know what I'm saying? Like the memorabilia thing. I guess it's. I mean, to your point, the generational thing. Millennials were nostalgic. I guess that like
I'll just
yeah, yeah, definitely
keep
like
on
100%. And well, funny enough, I mean, does that also play into like the capitalization? Like, you talk about people bringing things to auction that don't get sold, they get returned, and it's like, what, where, what, how much integrity is behind this that we're like, we really believe in this, or like we just know that millennials are going to eat this shit up. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of funny to
that's
think
a
about.
good point.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the pop culture thing, and people spending their money on memorabilia is resonates again with the trends I'm seeing, and also just resonates with me personally.
Yeah. I loved he drops like the Citizen Kane sled.
Yeah,
And did you saw this?
yeah, yeah.
That movie,
I haven't seen Citizen Kane, bro. I've only ever heard 30. I've heard you talk about it, but I gotta put that back on the list, bro.
the sled is kind of the whole point. It's like the whole nostalgia of this character is based around, you know, just like a childhood toy. You
Copy.
know what I mean? And so he said it started at 250,000 was the opening.
And
That
it's
was the opening, I
14
think.
mil. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, the bidding for the ladder opened at 250,000 and went to 15 million. And then you have the dinosaurs. What's interesting, well, the dinosaurs ties in because along with people, because I'm sure you've seen this too. Like people are all of a sudden buying these dinosaur bones, right? these
Yeah.
very expensive, like ancient things. But
And
along
that's the shit, by
with
the way, bro. Please don't buy a fucking dinosaur. That shit's so.
no, no, I know. It's like as in the working with handling it is like, it's not, I don't wish that on any
Uh,
poor handlers
that's,
out there.
that's a different beast.
But no, but I also it's funny because we also are seeing a lot of like um Jurassic Park memorabilia or like just not genuine fossils, replicas for the for movies, and those are moving a lot. Are you
Yeah.
seeing that too?
I think so. I don't always look too closely at some of the listings. So it's hard for me to know like what is real, and what is not. But I think a lot of it is like, you know, replica or something, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it is pretty fascinating that people are buying fossils of dinosaur bones too.
I mean, the psychology of it all like for the time, with this internet and all, this modern culture that we have, it does seem to make sense to me because who is reading about the old masters except for serious collectors? You know what I mean? Like pop culture, pop art. And if you're looking for like from that investment point of view, like you are all in the arts, it seems like you're always trying to find where like people's hearts and passion, where like the culture's heart, you know, is. And if it's moving away from some of the more political stuff towards like less political nostalgia. Like the money is looking for somewhere to go.
Yeah. Uh, he also talks about the Birkin bag thing too. I think I saw that in there. Handbags going crazy. The Ferris Bueller sweater.
Bueller sweater. The
Bueller,
original, is it the original Birkin?
Bueller, Bueller.
What? Bueller.
Oh yeah. Right.
Oh, isn't that like the most like is that true?
Sample type of thing. Something I've heard something similar, bro. It is like one of the most sampled, like.
Let me
Oh,
just fact check this right now on the spot.
I'm gonna take the over on it. I think it is
That's you're taking the over?
taking the over, bro. Yeah.
What's the theme song?
Chat, what you got? What you think, chat?
You asking ChatGPT?
No, I'm asking the chat who's not watching us right now what they think, if it's the most sampled or not. Side quest, real quick.
It's an important one.
Facts.
We're talking about art here. We have to have integrity.
And the culture, that's right.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
you're gonna have to watch an ad.
Grammarly now uses AI to help you write, not just revise. Type a prompt and generate a persuasive.
I'm not mad at that ad.
At least Grammarly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
Grammarly.
mad at that ad.
I don't like Grammarly. And, and
I can't hear it too well. It's kind of choppy.
yeah, we shouldn't do that anyway. I think like more than like 8 seconds and we get sued or something. So
Touche. Yes, dude.
wait, what was the name of that band? Yellow? Old oh yeah.
I couldn't tell you that if my life depended on it. Heard that song 1,000 times. Someone was like, tell me the artist and name that song. I probably could have been like, oh yeah. Band, I don't know.
Sampled?
I think so. Or most right? Most utilized. I don't fucking know what the word is.
Licensed?
There you go.
Science
That might be
soundtrack?
license. Yeah, license might be the one. There you go.
I don't know. I forgot how to spell sound. Yeah, I should have just asked ChatGPT. I thought Google had like the
You
it
do
had
have
the
something.
AI in it.
They do have
What
an
happened?
AI segment in there. It's W. Come on, chat.
one of the most
One of the most.
frequently used.
All right,
Okay.
that's fair.
Right. It's been used a lot. Ferris Bueller's The Secret of My Success. Interesting. Commercials.
It's a banger. The song slaps, yo. It's a banger.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Anyways,
I
what else we got into
I
Lucas
don't
art?
know. We pretty much, you know.
That's about it.
Actually, one thing I thought, another thing that I wanted to comment on was he talked about, I believe, how his clients were living versus like some art advisors
Hmm.
sort of like living the same as their clients.
Yeah, what
And
is
that being like sort of problematic in the last because everyone was like getting into the business and there's a lot of flush money for like a decade. And everyone was like, I'm going to Basel this week, Art Basel, Art Man, all these different festivals. And then they were, living the lifestyle that the clients that they, come to them, for their services.
yeah, and how
So
like
who's the art collector? Who's the investor? Like it made sense. I forget where he wrote this though.
it only be one. I do remember him saying something like that too. Like they don't want them living the same lives as their clients or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right here. He says because he's talking about how he comes from a middle class background, like he has a moderately, it doesn't sound too modest to me, but moderately modest lifestyle that he's trying to live and stick to, like as like a philosophy. He says, I take summer in vacation as a welcome break from the New York art world, a time to step back and reflect on the last few months. Part of me can't help but wonder if the recent issues we are seeing with the bankruptcies, closures, lawsuits, and market implosions are partly driven by people in the trade feeling pressure to live like their clients and other ultra wealthy players in the art world.
They
And
can
he
tell
says,
you make it, baby.
yeah, they can tell you make it. So American. Uh, yeah, I can imagine that,
Yeah.
even
Andy
just
Lane.
amongst the people I've met who are doing similar things that I'm doing in the industry. And I'm like, I know how much your salary is. You
You should
know?
not be in Basel. You should
Yeah,
put your
well,
ass back to work. No, it's fine.
I mean, you gotta live. I don't want to, everyone's fun,
Yeah,
you know.
whatever.
But yeah,
He also before we move on too, he talks about something like how we engage with art is different. I think losing where it is in the article. Sorry, can you hear me? Romeo's walling out.
Romeo.
Romeo, relax, bro. Uh, but he talks about like how we engage with art because how much of us are like going to get. I mean, obviously, they still have all the fairs and festivals, which we'll talk about probably at a different one. Obviously, because it's fall and like Armory and stuff just closed. But most of us are on our phones looking at anything like how we buy stuff these days. So how we engage with the art before buying is also potentially like influencing and affecting what is being bought and what is not. I thought that was intriguing as well, kind of in line with like the generational thing, just literally like phones scrolling. Oh, what do I want to buy today? What's pop? It's pretty interesting to think about.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. NFTs are a part of some of these pieces. Like some of these pieces have a physical component,
Right.
and then they're like crypto, component. And I mean, the industry definitely has a like industrial head to it. Like
Mhm.
someone might design a work, have it, you know, design a work digitally, paint it physically, and then sell prints of it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's like a pretty common, way of like operating in the art industry. And so it is very blurred and with the internet. That's got it. That's a trend that I expect to continue.
I think so, man.
Yeah. I these guys work on commission.
Yeah.
They work on commission because he says that right here. He's a art
Oh,
advisor. So
that's yeah.
living, they don't want you to be like the because you're their vendors.
Facts.
Yeah. Anyway. Do you want to move on to the next article?
Yeah.
Let's see.
That was a good little chunk of time there. We can jump into the next thing. I tell you, Romeo ate my charger, by the way, bro.
What do you mean?
Romeo
Your
ate my computer
charger,
charger,
your
bro. My computer charger. So I got well
you got
over
a brand new
50%.
computer, right?
Huh?
He ate the new charger?
Bro, yes. I
Did
was
he swallow it?
Bro, chewed straight through the little fabric wire thing. No, we don't have to get into it, but yeah. Need to get another charger. Anyways.
Yeah. These definitions are pretty cool. I kind of want to read them.
All right.
Buy and pass, a term for when a lot fails to meet its reserve price.
I
So if we do some bidding.
think there's been a
Face
lot of that this
hitting.
year, you know?
What's up?
I think there's been quite a bit of buy-in pass based
Yeah, I
off,
think that's what he says earlier.
yeah,
That yeah,
face tip.
that story checks out. I don't care about that one. That's like not even a real
Oh, face
art.
tipping. It's like I said, yeah, that's just like it's like
Yeah.
the app word.
But this guaranteed fail guarantee, an agreement in which a third party or auction house promises the seller a minimum price for a work no matter what. A failed guarantee means the sale didn't meet expectations.
Hmm.
Underbidder, that's sort of obvious. The person who places the second highest bid at auction.
That makes sense.
And everybody knows virtuous signaling at this point. It's like basically the president's favorite word.
Nice.
Phrase. When good dealers go bad.
Yeah, this
Did
one's
you?
interesting.
This is a long article. A lot. This article has like 10 different parts. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's like, yeah, 100%. I definitely skimmed a few of the parts and obviously read some others a little more thoroughly.
We never. I mean, we can go through,
I
check it
mean,
out.
the one thing that comes to mind that he brings up, again, the gallery world is like still a little bit foreign to me because again, I work a little bit closer with the auction side of things, but you know, I thought it was fascinating. I think he makes a reference between like, like profit margins, and like the type of margins that galleries operate off of versus like a supermarket or something, and that was a really interesting kind of like metaphor for, just to kind of like show some of the numbers and you got galleries closing that are making money hand over fist, like crazy margins. And
That's why you got Ralph DeLuca over here saying you were living outside your means. In
they,
an article where he's talking about how he makes an intentional effort to live within his means,
yeah,
which are nice. So
yeah.
it's like you don't need to be crazy. Like these are his peers.
Right.
Uh yeah, you're right. It says I think this is where it says it. I remember this.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice, bro. It's a mystery how things can be this difficult for an industry that works on such large margins, up to 50% for most galleries, for inventory that they don't have to buy, invest in, or manufacture. Do the
some
math. For yeah, touche.
yeah.
For a sale of one $10,000 work, the artist gets say 5,000 to 6,000 and has taken all the production costs. Multiply that by 10 or 100, even reducing the percentage, and that is still about 40,000 or even 300,000 for free inventory at bigger galleries. Many businesses run profitably on much lower margins. A supermarket, for instance, at 2%. So how do we have galleries with 50% margins going bankrupt when we got supermarkets at 2% margins? Obviously, maybe not doing, the best, but still, a sustainable business model. But I don't know. That was just a nice like way of breaking that down of like, wow, that is kind of crazy. So,
It's
yeah.
very poignant. I mean, I one of the galleries that I've worked with has been around for like almost 100 years. And
Mm.
I can tell you that they are not, I don't think, behaving this way. Especially like as you see,
Wait,
because
what do you mean by that?
family owned generationally. So as you see, like the elders in the family are, even more, um, you know, penny wise, aware of budget and things like that. And so, but yeah, it honestly, it's all of them. They're all really good. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna have this gallery for like another 100 years probably. But
Yeah.
yeah, you see a lot of galleries have popped up and then they disappear, and I think that's just because
It's like a cash grab, right?
yeah,
Like
you
kind
can
of come into it and try to like just keep expanding and expanding and making promises to artists that you can't, keep necessarily. And then all of a sudden things get a little weird when when those bills start adding up and things aren't selling necessarily. So
it
yeah,
kind of seems like they talk about this a little bit, but it seems like they like I don't know, like they were kind of he doesn't say that specifically that that these galleries were like mimicking uh like the tech industries sort of like move fast and break things or grow beyond your limits
that's
as
it.
fast, you know what I mean? Like take on as much debt and just keep going whether you make profit or not. But like that attitude that seems to be pervasive. I mean, he does end by what he uses some sort of phrase in here about the rum. Did you catch that?
No, I don't think I said that.
It kind of reminded me of like the move fast and break things sort of vibe. Uh, if I can find it. He talks about it's really random, like a rum business or something. And he has this one phrase, the way he says it. But regardless, like the industry, I think the industry definitely took on like a sort of attitude that you can just like keep growing, like
Right.
growth at all. I mean, the entire country seems to have done that on some capacity. Like many businesses think this way.
Yeah.
It's how we have Amazon, and
Right.
it's how we have Facebook and all these. So I'm not surprised that the art industry caught up in like the boom of all that capital flowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he,
Thought we can grow forever too,
yeah,
and
exactly.
just
Yeah,
operate
exactly.
50% margins
It's
and fly private jets or
what could
something.
go wrong?
What could go
It'll be
wrong?
like this forever. No, I mean, I think it's funny because I think he references like some other, people in his network who work in the gallery world internationally and I think domestically who are like, no, we're good. Like also like, all the doom and
Yes.
gloom shit that you see, and these people are just kind of like, no, no, we're good. Like it's this is usual. Oh yeah, no, it's maybe a little market's a little down, like back in 2002, whatever. But we'll be all right. It's like
That was after, I do remember that. That was after the interviews.
yeah,
He's like interviewing the some gallery people.
something like yeah. I forget where it is. It's the middle somewhere. There you go. Yeah, there's one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people were very, I think, and he talks about it being like community, uh, like the galleries that focused on community, I believe, community-based collaborative initiatives. So like,
There you go. There you isn't that how it's fucking supposed to? I mean, not supposed to be, obviously, but like, we talked in one of our other podcasts, we brought up like what happened to the art, what happened to the movements, like community, and there could be plenty of it still, out there. We're trying to build right now, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, that tracks good as time as any for more community-based collaborative initiatives.
well, he says he's saying that the traditional gallery model, which is like a a storefront essentially, um, where, you're signing artists, consigning artists' work and representing them and selling their work. He's saying that's like evolving. And he says, like, here for the past 2 years, I exhibited in the fundraising auction for Longhouse, a
Hmm.
nature reserve in East Hampton with programs in art and education,
Hmm.
featuring more than 60 outdoor schools, art and education. So like
Awesome.
that is a very modern sort of way of going about things. I feel like as someone who has some exposure to liberal arts, like a lot of people think this way. They think in terms of like arts and education and how that's like very, related and useful for people. And so it makes sense in my head that like arts would have arts program. And even like when uh my partner's daughter, she goes to, some programs, it's kind of both always, whether you're learning like a performance art, the education is a big part of it. And they work along with the schools. Sometimes they teach in schools. So
Yeah.
you get that sort of thing. That makes a lot of sense compared to a storefront model. But the storefronts, a lot of the art industry to me is like very related to like interior design and architecture. So
Like that.
that caters towards the commercial a little bit more. I don't know.
No, no, that tracks. In that same paragraph, I was just looking at the article again, just kind of I like his disposition about even in like the title, like get over it. It's time to move forward. Like the whatever market you were used to or why it was the way it was, like whatever, who knows? But like stop bitching, like let's just keep it moving. I kind of appreciate that sentiment. He's like, what art in its immeasurable guises is resilient. It always has been and will be. Regardless, it's about fucking time to find new paths forward and readdress past paradigms. And I'm like, I don't know, that feels relevant just with the state of society in general. Obviously, you got AI, the landscape of things is completely changing for so many different industries. And, I'm like, hey, man, like, whatever, we can sit here and cry and moan and, about how things used to be, how they should be. Or again, yeah, you just adapt and grow and find other creative ways of, sharing art and buying art and selling it. So I don't know. I appreciate that sentiment.
I totally agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
Which
Uh,
is this guy's cool. I don't really know who he is at all. I've never looked this dude
he's
up.
another, I think he's a writer, Kenny Schechter, right? Maybe New York Times.
Should probably get this.
Visual artist. Oh, that's right. He's an art critic and artist. What happened?
There he is. Nice.
Nice.
Righteous. Yeah.
Digital,
Awesome.
digital art. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. He made digital art for decades. And then he spearheaded the traditional art world's adaptation of non-fungible tokens. So he's an NFT guy.
Word. I'm not again, NFTs thing is kind of weird, but again, he's clearly someone who's like, again, finding new way, adapting with the times, bro. Like I'm not mad at that at all. Shout out to you, Kenny.
Yeah, this guy has been doing this
Side
for
note, bro. Way, way, way off topic. But you know what I learned the other day?
what's up?
Those little sculptures at like the 8th Ave station. I'm blanking on the artist's name. The little
Yeah, the little coin guys.
coin guys, bro. Tell me what the artist who made those.
Yeah, I know. He's got some scandals.
You, yeah.
I've
Bro,
heard.
bro made like a snuff film where he shot like a dog on camera or something. Like, again, no
Like,
disrespect
yeah.
or whatever, but like, yo, I see those little sculptures and, like made that connection. I was always like, oh, these are so cool. And then I finally realized, like, oh, damn. Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. But
Not all artists are good people. We can have a whole episode on whether it's music or fine arts, separating the artist from the artwork,
For
and
sure.
whether we should do that, whether it's mentally healthy. But
Take a note, future episode.
yeah,
Separate the artist from the art? Question mark.
yeah, future episode. Um,
All right. Anyways.
I feel like we could wrap this one up, to be honest. We've been on for like an hour ourselves, just
Oh damn, yeah, time's flying. All right, yeah, that's cool.
I didn't get too much.
Yeah, let me see if I got any
Got any
notes.
updates?
Closing thoughts.
Oh, closing thoughts.
You said updates. What do you want to do? New like anything like things
Yeah,
coming?
what's good? When the new hat's coming? Where we're both wearing the hat? Are we both wearing the hat?
We're both wearing.
Okay.
This is
See?
we're both
This
wearing
is
that.
awkward.
We're both wearing that. Not I mean updates on my end. Shit. This summer's been real quiet. If any of you know or follow me, I hurt my leg, tore my Achilles, my other one. Long story, but yeah, just had surgery, so I've been just really out of the mix for the last few months. But it did give me some time to slow down. I got some really fire music in the mix, of course. Hats. Would love to drop some new hats at some point, maybe to accompany the new music for sure. And then obviously we have some other, narrative things in the tank to
Teasing? You teasing like project
a little song,
project?
a little song, you know what I'm saying? A little song. But yeah, no, plenty of things in the pipeline. Just finally getting literally and figuratively back on my feet to execute on some of this stuff. But hopefully, into the fall and into the new year, we'll have plenty of stuff to start rolling out.
Are you still wearing the boot? Or you still have to wear the boot, right?
Come on now, you gotta stay in the boot, baby.
Okay, you don't have to show us it.
I do. They call me Boots McKenzie, bro. It's my new name, Drew Boots McKenzie. Facts.
Boots Riley.
Talk. Yeah. Oh, shit, Boots. Right. Shout out to Boots. What's up with you, bro? What you got? You got a book? Book?
Got the soft covers, working on the soft covers, trying to get that. Want to do some readings.
Wait, soft covers. So it's only a
Yeah.
digital copy right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna,
How many copies are gonna get made?
I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. I'm still trying to figure what, like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm gonna republish it again under the Americanosaur handle and get rid of anti-racist AI. And you know, it's a developing thing, but I think it's going to develop a lot quicker from here forward, like all these projects. I think one big thing I'm excited about is doing a newsletter for this,
Oh, yeah.
focusing on like the articles and stuff we discuss, and like get that popping. Because I
Uh,
think that'll be really helpful for us to like stay on track and all that good stuff.
You gotta read like a snippet from your book one of these days, bro.
Yeah, I want to. I want to do it. Maybe I might do it on Instagram. Once
Yeah.
I have the physical, I want to be able to like hold it like this.
You want to be able to block your face. You want to be
Yeah,
able to block
exactly.
your face and just read. I got you. That's real. I'm not mad at that.
Maybe this angle so you can kind of like see me, but it's like you can see
Just
the cover,
so
book
the
cover. Instead, this. Yeah,
maybe just your
exactly.
face, bro. That could be cool. So that
Yeah,
way,
that could be cool. Just my mouth. Yeah. Anyway, maybe we shouldn't be this silly. We should be more serious people. Where'd you go?
Romeo wants to say hi first, guys. I'm sorry. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Wow.
He's not a little baby anymore. He's bigger than you.
Take a shit. Come here, bro. There he is. Let's go.
You little baby girl.
Come here, buddy. Gotta give them what they want, man. Come on, Romeo's been listening to the kids.
Hey, what's up, Romeo?
He doesn't know
It's
what's
good
going
to see you.
on.
Aw.
But what else? Closing thoughts.
Shout out to our sponsors. I feel like NYC
Sponsors, baby. Boom Chicka Pop.
That's not a
The
sponsor.
best popcorn. If you haven't had this, I could eat a whole bag of this in one sitting. Boom Chicka Pop.
Say
Brought to you
that.
by Boom Chicka Pop. I just did. God damn it, we're sponsored by them. It's official.
Okay. And I don't think they want you to say GD in their advertisement.
Hot damn, Boom Chicka Pop.
Hot damn, musical pop. All right, nice. That's actually a good one. They might like that. Hot damn, musical pop.
Let's get it, fam. Sign us, bro.
NYC. NYC
Yes.
art.
Yeah.
Go
Shout
check out the art handling series at NYC Art. That's a
Yeah.
good partnership we have. That's
Absolutely.
hot, boom chicka pop, which might be a future if we didn't scare them off. Future partner
Might be
response.
for sure. Yeah. NYC art for sure. Check out the handling videos, and everything else in that world. Plenty of other content that's really dope to watch. And again, a lot of stuff that we are waiting to do in the near future. But
Yeah.
cool, man.
All right.
I think that's it.
Yeah, let's stop this stream.
Cool.
All right. Till next time. Tuesday. Should we do 7:30?
Yeah, 7:30 is cool. We're doing Thursday, no? Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're streaming.
Bet. So 2 days from now, Thursday, we're on 7:30.
7:30, everyone.
Perfect. It's lit. See y'all at 7:30. Should we
Peace.
have we need like a line where we go like, stay classy, San Diego. Should we say something like that? No?
You just did.